Well, hi there and welcome along to another edition of Friday Night Lights. I'm Tom Malone, joined this week by David Jennings, who survived last weekend at Cheltenham.
Hi,
and
Brad,
Johnny Ward
still
as
here?
well. Yeah, it's still here. We'll just remind everyone you did have a stag do. So
yeah,
how
my
did it go?
stag was last weekend in Cheltenham. It was great crack, yeah. First night didn't really end well. Bit of projectile vomiting after trying to do 15 shots, but it's the taking part that counts.
Absolutely. Well, that's an impressive attempt.
The second night was all right despite that.
Second night, my body was so used to putting so much shit in. I'd say the second day when I was drinking beer all day, it was delighted.
It was grand. It was almost medicinal
relief.
at that stage. All right, Johnny, you actually went to Dundalk during the week, so you're totally fresh enough.
I did. God, it was miserable. Like, you know, the land needs rain. It certainly got it last night. But Sarah Lynham, I got to give her a big credit to have a double. Like, she's only started off. It took her a fair while to get a winner, but she's really hit form and she's done her homework in terms of the yards that she served. And obviously her dad would have been a great mentor. But you know, for a trainer so unproven, starting out very young, it was a big move. I know her dad has probably given her a bit of a hand, maybe with just getting her started with facilities and that, but she's really flying it, and it was definitely the highlight of a fairly mundane night. And you know, I hope she's a good career ahead. Okay,
well, let's start with Friday then. 5:30, get things underway. Johnny, you like going here?
I do. Lepilly ran actually last night, and talk about a non-stayer. Like, he absolutely tanked, and like I looked at his position. I think he finished like 9th or something after looking like he was going to win. I thought he would struggle to get 6 furlongs. I didn't think he'd struggle that much. The only negative here is his draw, 13 of 13 over 5. It's not ideal, but you know, the winner of the race, Red All Star, you'd imagine he's drawn 5. He's going to just go out in front. If Shamie Heffernan can just give him a toe into the race off a strong gallop, he's seriously well handicapped, this horse. I was talking to Dennis Hogan at Navan recently, and apparently Lepilly and Amanat, like Lepilly can beat Amanat in his work, and Amanat won recently at Dundalk off like mid-70s.
Yeah, he got the better geological last week.
He's running off 54, so you know, he's probably a winner waiting to happen. If the draw were kinder, I'd be all over him. I think he's going to still trade short in running, and I think his time is nigh.
Good stuff. David, you're looking forward to the second race of the evening, our little claimer?
Yeah, if I was to rank the horses that I've tipped the most in any of our shows, it would probably be Western Rider, Brainpower and Georgian Bay. Georgian Bay I've tipped more times on any show and in the paper, and I'm giving up.
What about now? No, we're done.
We went into the Brainpower madness last week as well, and he did what Brainpower always does.
Yeah, and I think Georgian Bay might do what Georgian Bay always does as well. He just doesn't win. He just travels lovely, and just you think, right, here we go, and just doesn't go through with it. Like, he's rated 74, he's £4 clear on ratings, but he just doesn't do it. He's been threatening to win for so long, and when I seen he was entered in a claimer, I said he's going to have to win this, and then he said, no, I'm not getting sucked in again. So I'm going to go with the reliable 6 Silver Lane, who's rated 70, £4 lower. 2
stables in form, both among the winners last night.
Exactly. Jockey taking off £7, that's a huge bonus. I just think 6 Silver Lane, you know what you're going to get. It's going to run to a mark of 70. Thought it ran well enough last time out. I know it was in September in Carlisle. You can just trust him more than Georgian Bay, and no doubt this will be the day Georgian Bay.
Georgian Bay's going to note him in a photo, isn't he?
You just have to take these horses on sometimes, and I think 6 Silver Lane is a much more reliable proposition than Georgian Bay.
Okay, on to the 6:30. Lots of familiar names in here. Johnny, I'm actually going to pop up a familiar name here. I'm with Carried, but I think you like another familiar name.
Yeah, I tipped Carried, if not the last day, the day before that. But Prunella Dobbs' horses just aren't running that well this season. She's like 1 from 50 or something like that on the flat. And I was very disappointed with how Carried faded out of it.
Really poorly, yeah.
And Arborfield, who runs later on, he was a bit similar the last time. Declan McDonough travelling well into straight, kind of cut out a bit. So I've just a proviso about their form. And Carried is actually going to help my bet here, I think, because he's going to literally carry him into the race. And, you know, and my bet is California Lad. His trainer Fergal Baran lit up the all-weather last winter. He's based in Mayo, to be travelling to Dundalk on Friday nights. Plenty of mileage anyway, and
it's going to be tricky with that. Like, if you do well one year, all your horses are handicapped out of it the next year. So
he's basically down to a winning mark, and I just think the race is going to be absolutely tailor-made for him. Like Georgian Bay, he's by Aussie Rules. Stallion, I really like backing Aussie Rules horses. I think they're very genuine. He doesn't get many stars, but they'll give their running, and he's typical of that. He'll basically track Carried in second under Dennis Lenihan, and I think he'll have enough to pick him off. He ran really well the last day, and I think he's well worth a few bob each way.
Right, Tricky Maiden at 7 o'clock follows, Jenna, but you've got one.
I'm hoping it's not too tricky. I fancy Vivacious Spirit. just a real improver. First time out was 25-1 at Dundalk, finished 10-14. It obviously better things were expected next time. It was backed into 7-2 in a proper maiden at Cork. Coral Beach won that day. I thought it ran well there. It was backed into 7-2, and it was a very, very good maiden. Coral Beach has since won a Group 3, and then last time was only beaten a nose.
Yeah.
I think the step up to a mile will actually suit. It's drawn in stall 3. You know, Gordon, I'm sure he'll be as fit as a fiddle, and I just think it's the best horse in the race, and with the draw and everything in its favour, course form, I think it ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, roll it into the Troy Town for Gordon as well.
Which he'll almost inevitably win as well.
Yeah, looking for 5 in a row.
His shortest price runner is 12-1 at the moment, though.
It's like 10-1 the field basically, and I don't think Willie has particularly many. His horses are just still like a little bit behind, maybe because of.
I like winning it. Yeah.
We'll save it for tomorrow. We'll save that for tomorrow. Right, 7:30.
And inevitably, it'll be trained by Noel Mead.
Yeah.
His man crush.
Loves no. Right, go on. 7:30, Johnny. You like what there?
The 8:30 actually. The 8:30 Victoria's Secret, as I said, a very well named horse.
You just like the name.
I do like the name of the horse. But I think she's due to win at this stage. She's actually changed yards from Tony Mulholland to Keith Watson. A lot of horses have made that switch, one Ulster yard to another. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't think they're all the one owner either. But she is very well handicapped in her form for Fozzie Sack and Tommy Sack. And her run the last day, she was a little bit unlucky. She's not far off winning. I think at this stage, 6 or 7 furlongs is fine, and I think she'll run a big race.
Good stuff.
And I should mention as well that Keith Watson's horses, when they win, they pop up at decent prices. They're not really a gambling yard, I would think. And if the horse is like 20-1, don't be put off at all.
I'm taking you on here.
Yeah.
Taking you on with Patrick Joseph, who is not from 16.
He should be winning more races.
Like,
than
he
has
should
as
be
well.
winning. He's been knocking on the door. He's 4th last time to Russian campaign. I thought it was a stronger race than this. Missed a break. It's been dropped £2. I thought it's very fair to get dropped £2 because it was slightly unlucky missing the break. Now it's down to 7, which is a little bit of a worry, but there's plenty of pace in the race. And I just thought, again, well drawn in stall 3, David Mernan for Dec McDonough. Hopefully it'll be a good night for Dec.
Yeah, I actually like Proud and Elated. Dropped down to 45 to 65
Ran
the
last
first
night
time.
as
Ran
well.
last night as well.
We'll
He's
do
one
the
of those
trio.
solid. Yeah, we'll definitely get the TriCast. No. Right, let's get our best bets for the Friday Night Lights then at Dundalk. Go on, Johnny, start with you. Best bet for 2 months.
I'll give the best bet as California Lad. I think he's probably the most solid of the 3. The second, Lapilli, and the third would be Victoria's Secret. That's California Lad in 6:30, Lapilli in 5:30, and in the 8:30, Victoria's Secret. And before we go as well, just wishing Robbie McNamara the best. Obviously, his training career has come to a halt, but he's a long life ahead of him in racing, and just hoping that things work out. He's done really well with the horse he's had, and I hope that
seriously smart guy.
Yeah, very, very, and we all remember how bullish he was with his early runners. I think he'd like a double in his first day he had runners, but he still has plenty to offer racing, and I'd give him a horse in a heartbeat.
Jenna, what about you?
My number 1 would be Vivacious Spirit in the 7 o'clock. In the 6 o'clock, 6 Silver Lane, hopefully to beat Georgian Bay, and in the 8:30, Patrick Joseph, but Vivacious Spirit would be my strongest fancy.
Okay, in the 8:30, I'm going with Proud and Elated. In the 7:30, I'm going with House Call, and in the 5:30, going to pop up Lapilli as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with more Friday Night Lights.